Hey race fans, this is Chet Christner with your Comp Cam's top 5 moments on FloRacing from this past week.
With a lead in the 05 car.
And we got a crash out of turn number 2, Landon Pendleton, and then Sellers hit hard from the back by the 82 of Dillard, had nowhere to go.
It's Twin 65s for our number 5 is South Boston Speedway, and that's South Boston, Virginia for the record, opened up their 65th season with twin features for the NASCAR late models. In feature number 1, defending NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series National Champ, Peyton Sellers jumped out to the early race lead, slipping by pole sitter Lane Riggs. Riggs patiently tracked Sellers through traffic and snagged the lead on lap number 32. Riggs would lead the rest of the way for his first ever win at South Boston. Early in the second feature, Landon Pendleton slipped the grip, gathers up Sellers, who then gets his ham slammed by Trey Dillard. Meanwhile, Lane Riggs would go on to win his second feature of the day and the second of his career at South Boston Speedway.
Something's wrong with Joyner. Flat tire on Joyner. He's trying to coast it out. Can Billy Franklin make up the time to run down Joyner?
It's 3 laps to go for our number 4, and Joseph Joyner is way out front at Southern Raceway when the right rear starts to disintegrate. Have you ever had that dream where someone's chasing you and you're trying to run but feels like you're in quicksand? Yeah, well, Joseph was living that nightmare as Billy Franklin started closing the gap like Michael Myers on Halloween. White flag comes out, Joyner's desperately limping as fast as he can. Franklin's coming like a freight train, and out of 4, Joyner hangs on to pick up the Southern AllStars win for Hunt the Front. Rode that rim right into victory lane.
Our first feature of Spring Nationals. Green flag is out. Speed of sound. Roar of thunder. Look out the front row.
We head to the Beatrice Spring Nationals for our number 3, where to start a Saturday Sport Compact feature, Shea Howell got kicked sideways, honed in on Tyler Hooper's tail feathers, proceeded to tater his tots in a vicious tumble that smacked and whacked him all the way to the wall. Resulting carnage looked like an unnatural disaster. Later that night, Beatrice hot shoe Jordan Grabowski would defend his home turf in both stock cars and the modifieds, picking up the win in both thrilling features. Stanton, Iowa's Jeff James would close out the weekend by capturing the Sunday afternoon modified finale.
Problem for Melanie. Oh boy, Louis Abreu. Oh my goodness, big time problems into the wall down there, folks. Clear the starting line, please. Clear the starting line. Need everyone off the starting line now, please.
It's Houston Raceway Park's Texas 2K22 for our number 2, where they massacred some money during the weekend. We're roll racing when Bob Helm loses the handle on his 2,000-plus horsepower Lamborghini and goes into a pirouette of punishment that blasted his britches off on a right-hand wall. The right-hand wall was again a target when something goes awry with Bradley Jepson's R35 GTR, and he proceeds to center punch a hole at the finish line. My goodness. The hardest hit award, however, goes to Louis Abreu and his Audi R8 CT. Oh! Man, his grandkids are going to have a headache from that one. That wasn't what made Texas 2K22 a number 2, however. James Kempf and his Speed Factory all-wheel drive Honda Civic is what made this a number 2 when he set a new world record going 718 at 199 mile per hour, a full 0.3 of a second quicker than the previous record. That's a big bite out of time, folks. Wow.
And Logan Wagner has come down to the 39M car of Anthony Macri to exchange words from their earlier incident.
And it's off to the Spring Speed Showcase at Port Royal Speedway for our number 1. Weekly 410s were a late addition to the card after Saturday's rainout, and 8th starting, and defending track champ Logan Wagner was on to move early until he and Macri tangled out of 4. Wagner's race then went from bad to worse after he flipped later on, and under the red, he went over to express his displeasure with Macri for the earlier incident. Once that was out of his system, Wagner walked back to the pits. Anthony cinched his straps and got back to work. Macri would pass leader Brent Marks with 4 to go to take the win at the Speed Palace.
They haul the mail down the backstretch and into 3. Guler, he'll go low. Here comes Ryan Go down, knocking down the boards here at Port Royal.
Meanwhile, in the Short Track Super Series feature, Mike Goulart looked to have one in the bag, but the Ringo's rocket was still seeking speed. Ryan Godown got it wound up the long way around on the final lap, fired it to the wall into 1, and danced past Goulart out of 2, charging on to his first win at Port Royal and second of the year with the Short Track Super Series.